Hello everybody, and welcome to Team Tuesdays, and today we are here to talk about how to craft an effective offer that gets accepted.
Because you get that question a lot, don't you, Mike? Like your clients sometimes want to rely on you to know what should I offer.
And that is a good idea, to rely on me to know what to offer, because it's pretty confusing out there, and not everything, it doesn't go like you think. It's not just a uniform, the market is at this level and the price of the houses are depending on if you're in the Redlands or if you're in a downtown or if you're in the Southeast. It can be extremely different. Right now we're seeing a lot of variation in how high people are willing to go, and now I think which makes it important to talk about what helps get an offer accepted. So one of the first things that you want to do is you want to have a talk with the listing broker and kind of find out how many offers that they may have already and when the deadline is. So
Good communication with that listing broker is really imperative.
Exactly. You want to maintain a good relationship and open communication and try to find out as much as you can on what's important to that seller. So the seller, there's certain things they could need to close right away because they have to move into another house. They might have to find a house, in the next month or two, and that can be difficult as well. So they might need more time. So constructing your offer in a way that the seller is involved and their needs are met kind of before the buyer's needs, because right now everything is seller forward.
About the seller, yeah.
Everything's about the seller. So one of the things that you want to do is have the agent do a market analysis. So you want to see, where are the prices currently been, and this is changing on a daily basis. So, up to the minute, up to the date, what's a recent comp, and what can you kind of expect? And I've seen, lately we've been getting, $30,000 to $85,000 over asking price on some of these more popular houses.
Yeah, it's really competitive out there. And how many offers generally are you seeing coming in on a popular property?
A popular property would be, I've seen 10 to probably 25 is probably the average. Some maybe a little more and some maybe a little less. But generally, if you call an agent and you find out, there's 10 or more offers on a property, you gotta be pretty aggressive and creative with your offer if you want it to get accepted. Well, some of the things that will help get your offer accepted are, you want to put in an escalation clause.
I think the most important thing to know is an escalation clause without an appraisal waiver really, it's not that it doesn't matter, but there are agents that still think that they can offer way higher than everybody else, but if they don't have that appraisal waiver, it's not as good as a lower offer with an appraisal waiver. So there are agents who are surprised that their offer doesn't get accepted because they feel like they just knocked it out of the park. But if it's got a loan and we still have to be worried about an appraisal, that's a big consideration. I'm surprised how many buyers are able to come in with an appraisal waiver. It's shocking and surprising, but that tends to win a lot of the multiple offer situations.
Yeah, it seems like you're having quite a few offers with lenders, and then you have the 1 or 2 or 3 that are cash and that are willing to pay almost anything.
Well, and it used to be that when you submitted a cash offer, you felt like you could come in a little lower because that was a great benefit to the seller. But now cash just means you might have a little bit of an advantage, but you still have to offer top dollar. So
true.
I think the most important thing is having an agent that really knows how to compete in these situations. Everybody on the team has been writing lots of multiple offer, competing offers, and we talk about it at every meeting and every day and help each other with the language and the tactics and the strategy.
That's very true. And so also another aspect that we probably should talk about is having a good lender, a local lender that can assure that the seller will get their money and everything will be done on time and there will be no complications. That goes a long way. So you are dealing with potentially a lot of cash offers, but what I've been told from a lot of listing agents is an offer with a good solid lender is going to be just as good as cash. It's the bottom line is what what it's coming down to get an offer accepted. So the highest offer is going to win, whether it's potentially cash or with a lender. And then if you have a local lender that has a great reputation, even better.
Team, anything to add?
I think it's important, when you're submitting your offer, like, put your best foot forward. Don't expect them to counter something. If you're willing to do something, go all the way with it and put your best offer right out the gates. Because if you're in a multiple offer situation, they're not going to negotiate with each one. They're only going to pick that top one and have a conversation with them.
Right. Yeah. Don't expect a counter. Yeah. They're just going to pick the best one.
Also, inspections, I think anymore, more and more, when you have your showing and maybe your second showing, have a critical eye. Look closely at the home and be prepared that you might be, to again further advance your offer and optimize it, you might want to waive the inspection objection resolution deadlines and just move forward. Still do the inspection and maybe keep the inspection termination date, but accept the house as is. Yeah, that's going to help it move on through.
One other thing is I wanted to kind of touch on, how high are things going right now? And I just have a couple of examples of stuff that's just closed recently, and this stuff's changing all the time. And maybe the team can pitch or can chime in and see if they have any other ones. But 427 Chipeta downtown was listed for $299 and it sold for $384. That's $85,000 above asking price. And then we had one on White, so 1347 White Avenue, listed for $350, sold for $402. So we're seeing quite a big jump, and then this is also happening in the Redlands. 2544 Grand Overlook, 22,000 above asking, and Rangeview, 2205 Rangeview went for 27 above asking. So we're starting to see, before it was 5 to 10 over, and now we're starting to see quite a bit over that. So.
Yeah. I read that the national average was expect 10% over asking, is what you, just to prepare yourself. But didn't you have one yesterday, Chris? You went in 60.
Yeah, we went in 60,000 over asking price. We had a post-closing occupancy agreement, which allows the seller to stay in the home for 3 weeks after closing. That way their transition is a lot smoother, and we still didn't get it. So It's very tough out there.
So we certainly don't want to scare off any buyers, but what we do want to emphasize is it's really important to work with a good agent, and everybody at the Christi Reece Group is highly skilled and trained, and we would love to help you with your home buying journey. And if you're a seller, it's a great time to sell, so give us a ring. Anything else to add, Mike?
That should do it.
All right. Have a great day. We'll see you next week on Team Tuesday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.